You can even click on a big join us right on the homepage. But
yeah,
oceansideartwalk.org.
Great, that is wonderful. And if you weren't able to write it down quick enough or whatever, we're going to be uploaded to YouTube by tomorrow. You can rewatch this first segment, and get all that information and play it as many times as you want.
Yeah.
So
if you've been sitting on the fence about how do I, brand new artist, how do I get my work out there? If you're sitting on the fence, you got to do the art walk. It's the best way to jump in. And then that'll give you enough confidence to go on to other big, huge art shows that are a little bit more intimidating for a budding artist. Now, we don't have just budding artists. We have some local talent that will blow you away as well. And so my whole purpose of joining the team was to get the clients to go and see and go every month, because there's something new to see every single month. You'd be really surprised. So.
And isn't this Friday probably going to be an exceptional one because of a lot of things? Holiday season.
Yes.
Gifts coming up.
Right.
It's going to get busier later.
Right.
The weather's still good.
Right.
We're still probably, I think the forecast for Friday
is probably great.
Is wonderful, right? Probably maybe flip-flop weather,
Right.
And I couldn't think of a better holiday gift for somebody than a piece of art, okay? Because it moves people, and it can get people, hey, I can do it, thinking maybe they can do it like me, like all of us really have a little bit of that inside of us, I think.
Right.
It's just what will bring it out.
Now, even more exciting news, and we've already halfway filled up, and usually we have about 80 artists at this event. Our very end of the year, we partner with the Marriott Suites down
Really?
at Hello Betty, and we have artists fill the top deck, the below deck, or the lobby, and this attracts so many visitors. I think last year we had over 1,000 people come through the Marriott.
What month was that?
That was December. It's our
Oh,
December.
okay, end of the year.
They do a Christmas tree lighting. There are dancers there. There's drum circles. There's 80 artists. And if you're an artist and want to be in that, you need to sign up right now and pay as soon as possible, because those spaces, you can go online under location, drop down, see the space assignments, and pick your spot. And if you pick your spot and get it in and pay for it early enough, chances are you're going to get that spot. And there's some really great, practically every spot is great, but some people like exposures from, different areas. So.
Sure. As you were talking, I was thinking what would be really fun is maybe have a shout-out show there live.
Oh, my God.
Because our camera can shoulder mount and we can go anywhere.
Oh, I would love that.
And batteries and stuff like that. So think about it. We don't have to talk about it right now. It just kind of popped into my head. But it would add to the exposure. And the other thing is we promote prior, usually. Like last night and stuff that we did on Facebook, and everyone was expecting you tonight.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're halfway into the show. So why don't we shift gears for a minute and start looking at your art? Either we can start with your digital or go back in time. Maybe start with your brother over there.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Let's go back in time. I was a self-taught artist. I picked up a book by Betty Edwards called Drawing on the Right Side of Your Brain. And before I read the book, I was doing stick figures on my drawing. After I read the book, I was drawing like a Van Gogh. Seriously, it was amazing. But black and white pencil, but
sketches.
It's actual portraits. I should show you my earlier work.
But they're pencil portraits,
It
right?
was you smudged it out.
Oh, okay.
It looked
okay,
like
all
a black and
yeah.
white photo.
Wow.
When you were
wow.
done.
I'd love to see that.
It was amazing. I started my career at a very late time, around when I was 30 years old.
Well, I started mine at 62, so you're an early bird. Right?
So from there, from drawing, I went to acrylics, and then from acrylics, I went to oils. This is, I painted this about 10 years ago. This is of my brother. He was playing the piano in his little house, and here was a huge picture of a wave, and it was too distracting for me. So I put the view that I had when I lived in Playa del Rey. That was the view of Malibu, and this is.
That wasn't the actual view. You just picked out.
Because when you're an
was there a
artist,
window there?
No, it was a painting.
Oh, it was a painting.
It was a painting there, and I didn't like it, so I
you
took
made a
it
different
out.
painting.
I made a different painting.
Gotcha.
But when I paint my with a paintbrush, I do photorealism. But when
I can tell, like I was saying to you earlier, I see that that's a painting. I can tell.
Yes.
And then I look at him and went, wow! I see the hair on his arm, and
I know.
look at that.
I know.
It's like
it's a lot of fun.
That's quite a talent you have there.
Well, thank you. So I brought this to show you that I can actually paint with a paintbrush.
With a paintbrush, without all the digital
Yes.
manipulation of
Exactly.
digital editing.
But this was just another stepping stone for me to build off of my digital art. This is Charlie. This painting actually has 2/3 missing. This is Charlie, and I didn't want to bring it because it was just too big.
Too big, yeah.
But it was a picture of what Charlie was looking at, and it was towards Carlsbad, the shoreline.
He was on the south side.
Yes,
Yeah.
he was on the south side. So
Yeah.
that's Charlie. And this day, he wanted his picture taken.
He always does.
I got upset.
He
And I'm
always
very,
does.
I'm very careful with animals because I don't want them to think I'm invading their space. But Charlie was it was like I was getting closer and closer.
He's
and
a ham.
He's
a ham.
such a ham.
He's
So
a good-looking bird too.
Yeah,
I mean,
he
you know,
is.
hey.
So this one is a giclée.
Which that's digital art, right?
This is digital art. Everything you see, and when I do digital art, a lot of times I will keep part of the photograph, just because I like a hybrid sometimes. It's just kind of fun.
Sure. Well, since you mentioned that, before we run out of time, why don't you show us a few of the processes, a few of the steps that you go on. She's actually taking a photograph, beginning with a photograph, and then digitally manipulating that photograph, changing it, and turning it into brush strokes. So let's see if we can kind of zoom in a little bit on that and let us know what we're looking at.
Okay, so this picture here it's actually a picture of my granddaughter. We did this wonderful set. This is in Virginia, right out of Washington, D.C. So we took a picture of her, and then I don't know if you can pick it up.
But that was a photograph.
That was a photograph,
Okay.
and this is what I did to the photograph in Photoshop. I did the digital painting part of it. I don't know if you can.
Are you able to zoom it in? You know how you two-finger kind of. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Is that helping?
See, now on this, you can
Yeah.
see I kept her face. It's a part of the photograph, but if you looked at the background, it looks more like a watercolor.
Yeah. I mean, as you open it up, like zoom it open, you can actually see. Now all of a sudden, it doesn't look like a photograph anymore. You can actually see what appears to be brush strokes and stuff.
Yeah.
And that's what's mind-boggling. I thought she had some cute little app, and just push a button and it happens. And No, that hasn't been invented yet, guys.
No. And you look at, and you approach the painting, what I do to a painting is different every single time. I'll look at the photograph, and naturally, in a painting, you want to just amp out the saturation because you want a lot of color. I wouldn't do that if I was photo editing a normal photograph. But when I do digital painting, I want to start with a lot of color, and then I'll go in, and there could be at least 15 different layers. I'll take another painting and I'll brush stroke that out a lot, and I'll bring it in and overlay it on a blending mode. I'm getting too.
Yeah, you're getting pretty detailed, but you know what would be a good thing to pull out is maybe
this one.
Pull that one out.
This one will show you exactly.
There you go.
Yeah.
That started its life as a real photograph.
A real photograph.
Right.
This was taken Northern California. It's funny because I do these travel trips, so that I can get different areas, and we had booked this trip a long time ago, and we flew in the day that Sonoma was on fire.
Oh, lucky you.
So the sky was super gray and dull and boring, but when you have that kind of sky, it's a huge diffuser, and your lighting is really nice. So in this particular painting is all done with the brush strokes, except the reflection is the actual painting. I did not even touch that because you kind of look at it, and it kind of looks kind of painty anyways, and you don't really want to mess with a reflection. You want that reflection to look good. You
want it to look that way, but I look at this and can't help but I can visualize just it being painted on with a paintbrush,
Yes, a digital paintbrush.
Well, but I mean, from a distance, it looked. Yes, thank you, thank you. I understand it was created digitally,
right?
But it's so funny, we've kind of gone full circle, haven't we? We started out with paintings, and then we went to photographs, and then we went to digital photographs, and now we're doing